In today's episode, let's read about sandalwood as an endangered incense ingredient. Namaste everyone and welcome to Om Incense Show with DJ, a show that helps you increase your incense quotient. So if you are an incense enthusiast, consider subscribing. So today let's read something from chapter 3 of Incense Magic, a book by Carl F. Neal. And we're reading about sandalwood as an endangered incense ingredient. You might want to treat this as a podcast and let it run in the background while you enjoy yourself with your favorite snacks and beverage. It's page number 61, Sandalwood. There is perhaps no more universally used aromatic than sandalwood. While there are several varieties of yellow or white sandalwood, and scents can vary widely within those species, they are all, in a word, awesome. Sandalwood is another unusual plant that is actually quasi-symbiotic. As a result, it only grows and produces its distinctive scent in the perfect environment. Yellow sandalwood is one of the most amazing aromatics I have used. Its scent is strong, ranging from dark and woody to light and sweet. It mixes well with virtually any other aromatic. And not only does it have remarkable olfactory qualities, it also has excellent burning and magical properties. I should point out that although red sandalwood is even more dangerous than white or yellow sandalwood, this discussion is specifically aimed at the white or yellow variety. I haven't purchased red sandalwood in several years and may not purchase any again until I see improvements in the longevity of the red sandalwood species. Sandalwood is used as a ritual aromatic in many cultures and serves as a holy substance as well. Nowhere is this truer than in India. In this distant land, sandalwood is much more than a nice smelling wood. It is sacred and serves in many different revered roles. As a result, it has a place in many different phases of life, from birth to death. Sandalwood accompanies people at critical moments of life. Traditional funerals in India have often included the burning of huge quantities of sandalwood. When you consider the size of the population of India and the ever-shrinking supplies of sandalwood, it is easy to see the problem. The rituals of death are so important in most cultures that we cannot overstate the importance of the issues to many in India. Once you learn to recognize the scent of sandalwood, you will be amazed at how often you smell it. Many perfumes contain sandalwood, as do other scented products. These oils are often synthetic, but not always. The perfume industry is just as enamored with sandalwood as the incense industry. When you consider that many fragrance products, soaps, air fresheners, deodorants, etc., look to the perfume industry for inspiration and methods, the impact of the perfume industry is significant. It is hard to imagine the incense world without sandalwood. Its amazing variety of scents, subtle variations, and the depth of its sweetness all make it a nearly perfect aromatic wood. It is used in construction, religious rituals, manufacturing, and more. But to me, it will always be a gift for the incense user. Sandalwood has been used in incense since prehistory, and its qualities make it clear why. I would weep should we ever lose sandalwood as an incense material. To think that future generations will not get to enjoy its magic is beyond horror for me. The problem of endangered botanicals have not escaped the attention of governments and other organizations. The government of India has made some attempts at conservation, including the limitation of sandalwood exports from their country, but the success of these efforts is virtually impossible to measure. The level of information about the sandalwood trade in India is limited and poaching is rampant. While I advise people to know the origin of their incense materials, The issue with Indian yellow sandalwood is nearly impossible to overcome. There are many dangers in this situation. First, there is the financial impact. The destruction of India's sandalwood would destroy many businesses. All aspects of India's fragrance industry would be impacted, including the incense industry. There is also the impact on tradition. India's traditions associated with sandalwood are deep and ancient. The loss of sandalwood would have significant social impacts in India and other cultures. Finally, and honestly less important, would be the impact to incense makers and users around the globe. I did mention that there is a hope for white sandalwood. Australia. In Australia, the sandalwood population was nearly wiped out in the mid 20th century. Australia is home to several different species of white or yellow sandalwood and provides some ideal environments for growing sandalwood. Excellent management and cultivation have seen the Australians burst into the incense world in recent years with their own yellow-white sandalwood. This well-managed population is entering the commercial markets and will likely become the dominant source for sandalwood in the coming decade. The government of Australia is firmly behind the sandalwood industry, and I salute everyone involved for their insight. Sandalwood could have easily vanished from Australia or been completely marginalized. Instead, people recognized the danger that was looming ahead, even if it was decades away. Years were invested into research and the establishment of commercial production, and people are now marketing these new sandalwood products. This was a case of people looking beyond their own lives and worrying about future generations. We are fortunate enough to be here while the products are coming onto the market. I don't want to leave anyone with the impression that all yellow sandalwood comes from India or Australia. Sandalwood is found in many parts of the world and is an important aspect of many economies. However, the supply level from other countries is small and the dangers of extinction are ever present. I know incense aficionados who collect sandalwood from around the world and enjoy nearly endless combinations of scent, all composed of sandalwood. I think there's no harm in buying small amounts of sandalwood from nearly anywhere, with the obvious exception of India. But if you make bulk purchases, I would urge you to buy from Australia. Not only are there no concerns about wiping out an endangered population of sandalwood, you are supporting the efforts of people who have created far-sighted policies intended to benefit the world. As consumers, we vote with our money. I urge you to vote for the nations that have taken responsibility for conservation and preservation. So that's what we had to read about the aspect of sandalwood being an endangered incense ingredient. So I hope you learned something from today's episode and you enjoyed it. Check out the link of this book in the description box and let me know if you want me to read more from this book and if you want me to review this book. And till we meet again next, take very good care of yourself. Namaste.